Okay, happy Thursday ho sa inyong lahat, no? Happy Thursday. It's the 1st of April, pero tapos na ho yung sinasabi nilang parang April Fool's Day, no? Merong limitation yan eh. Supposedly may cut-off day yan. Pero anyway, first day na ho ng second quarter of the year. So, kung hinahati ho yung ating taon ng 4 na quarters, January, February, March, ito na yung second quarter, no? April, May, and June. Kaya welcome ho. Medyo nagluwag na ho ang ating parang stay at home medyo lifted na, no? So starting Monday, medyo maluwag-luwag na tayo ng konti, and come April 12, isa na namang pagbabago yun, no? And after that, the next one would be May 17, no? Kung saan hopefully yung international travel mapayagan na, no? At unti-unti sana tayo, nasa summertime na tayo, malapit na. Although last Monday, Sunday, and even Tuesday yata, no? Hindi ko Sunday, basta weekend yata, and Monday, maganda ang panahon, napaka-init. Ngayon ho, biglang nag-dip na naman, napakalamig na, no? Well, 10 degrees at least, no? Dito ho sa Southwest London. Pero bumaba ho, yung ini-expect natin sanang, kala natin tuloy-tuloy na, nawala na, no? But anyway, it's a Monday, and happy, Monday tuloy. Thursday, Monday kasi I'm thinking of the first of every, di ba? Kasi week, parang the first day is Monday. April 1. So parang yung utak ko, nag-iba ang wiring, you know. But anyway, it's a Thursday, happy Thursday, but it's also the first of April. Happy Thursday, oh. Siyempre, pagka Thursday, dagdag ka alaman, and the person that we're gonna be, siyempre, nakakasama natin, is the person who makes your Thursday night happy, dahil siyempre may impormasyon na binibigay. Mga kaibigan, siyempre pinagmamalaki ko, kasama natin ang ating kaibigan, no? Yung siya ho ang managing partner ng Douglas Simon Solicitors. So walang iba kundi ang ating expert ho sa immigration, walang iba kundi si Attorney Lira Simon Cabatbat. Attorney, magandang gabi sa iyo.
Hello. Kumusta po? Yeah. Happy Thursday, Sonny. Sorry, hindi kita marinig.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Sorry. Oo nga pala. You look very sexy tonight, attorney, ha? Naka-sleeveless kaya. Bibira, when was the last time we saw you with that? I think it was on a warm, hot, anong day yun? Basta one time. But anyway, good evening. Oh, how was, balitaan mo kami, how was your, yun na nga yun, kumusta na?
Yeah, I had my job last
Saturday.
Friday and all.
Friday ba? Friday, yes.
Yeah, Friday or Saturday. Yeah, last week na. Yeah, no, it was fine. So wala nang problem. I had my job. My arm was a little bit sore for a couple of days nga. And actually, yeah, I was expecting to be laid out, but no issues. So so now also I'm perfectly fine. So I've been very lucky, no. Dahil ikaw meron ko nagkasakit ka ng kaunti, no?
Hindi ako. Wala akong sakit. Si Dana yun, si Attorney Dana ang nagkasakit. I just had yung parang kung saan nasaksak ba, kung saan yung tinurukan, doon lang medyo may konting, the following day lang, hindi naman swelling, basta may konting pain doon, soreness, no? Pero other than that, wala, all maayos eh. Sabi pa ng iba at least abangan mo pa mga 2 days or 3 days. So umabot ako ng a few days, no? Fourth day ko, walang at napakalinis. Ayan. Uy, teka muna, nawala si attorney. Bakit kaya nawala si attorney? Anyway, so may pag-uusapan ngayon. Ang pag-uusapan ngayon, ito ang topic na ano niya, no? Na didiscusin niya, traveling in and out of the UK. So yan ho, no? Lalo na ngayon, COVID, no? COVID. Ano ba ang mga limitations? Ano ba ang mga yung mga rules and regulations, guidelines sa traveling in and out of the UK? Ayan. Okay, andyan na yata si Attorney. Attorney, yes, nawala ka, no? I was just telling them about the topic tonight. Traveling in and out of the UK. Yan ang pag-uusapan, no? Yung i-discuss for tonight. So, yes. Teka muna.
Yung nga.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, yun na nga po. Yeah. So I thought we'd well, okay. It's the weather's gone again, yung sinasabi mo. Kanina ang init, no? Kahapon ang init. Ngayon, lumalamig na naman. But in the spirit of the relaxation of COVID rules, also for travel nga, and also because of course Easter break na, no? And soon to come summer break. I thought would follow up on the topic we touched on before, but of course things have changed since nga. And that is traveling in and out of the United Kingdom given the COVID rules. What do you have to do? So practical advice really. Anong kailangan yung pag-isipan,
Ayan.
kailangan yung gawin, no? In order to be able to travel as smoothly as you possibly can.
Ayan, yan ang tatalakayin mo maya-maya, no? Yung ating a few pagbati lang, mga anuhin natin, no? Let's may way to some pagbati rito. Nakikita mo yan, attorney? Can you read it?
Yeah, no, the lovely Miss Paner. So, Marian Galicia Paner. So, sabi po niya, hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira at lahat ng kababayan. Thursday po, stay safe and God bless us po. Yes, no, that's true, Miss Paner. Yeah, to you too, no? It's hopefully stay safe, no?
Yes, yes, stay safe kayo lahat, ha. Stay safe kayo, no? At teka muna, ayan. Okay, so yun ang ating unang bate, no? You can also watch us, by the way, no? Simulcast ho ito sa YouTube. All you have to do is go to Filipino TV Europe, and if you decide to, meron tayong mga viewers na they watch us, no? Attorney, sa malalaking screens nila, no? Because they could go to YouTube, no? And watch us mula ho directly doon sa YouTube. Pero siyempre, no, both ways, kung nasaan ho kayo, you can watch us, and thank you very much for welcoming us sa inyong mga tahanan, no. Ito, attorney, parang bagong to sa YouTube, no. Bago ba to? Parang ngayon ko lang yata nakitang Joan Seraon ba yan? Seraon? Hindi Serrano, no? Seraon.
Seraon, yeah, Joan Seraon. So sabi po niyan, good evening po, Madam Lira and Mr. Sonny. No, the name sounds familiar nga, but
ganun ba? Familiar ba yan?
Yeah, it's slightly familiar nga. Where are you watching from? No? So, Joan, pag dito Joan, yung Joan, di ba? Joan, parang nag-slide from Joan. Taga saka nga pala, no? At saka, teka muna, birthday pala. Gusto ko lang batiin yung ating one of our very, very avid friends and listeners, no? Ito ay si Miss Emeline Rafael. It's her birthday on Sabado ba? Sa Saturday yata ang birthday ni Emeline. Nawawala si attorney. Nawawala. Ano bang nangyayari? Sabihan nyo nga ako at medyo nawawala yata si attorney uli, no? Ayan, nawala uli. Mukhang yung kanyang signal for tonight medyo may konting problema. Ayan. Okay, ngayon ho, like I said, no, nabanggit niya at nabanggit ko na rin kanina na ang ating topic for tonight is traveling in and out of the UK, especially ho ngayon. Napakaihalaga ho nito, especially ngayong may COVID ho ngayon. No, ano ho ba ang mga guidelines, ano ba ang ng UK government and siguro pati Philippine government siguro discussin din ni attorney kung ano mga alam niyang mga rules and regulations doon, no? Guidelines at the moment kasi yung IATF ba yan? Kung tawagin nila, Interagency Task Force para sa COVID ho, merong mga guidelines na ilalabas. Ang alam ko sa Sabado daw yata. Alam niyo naman, nanonood ako minsan yung aking mother's network sa Pilipinas, GMA. Ako ho yung official na pero lately ako hindi ako nakakapag-report, no. Ako yung official na tag dito, stringer, no, correspondent dito ho sa United Kingdom. Okay, andito na yata si attorney, no. Pabatiin natin si attorney. Pabatiin natin. Kasama natin kanina pa. Pabatiin na natin. Hello. Nawala na naman si attorney. Ano nangyayari sa signal mo, attorney? Something's wrong dyan sa signal mo. Ano kaya nangyayari? Nawala na naman si attorney, no. Nawawala si attorney, nawawala yung kanyang signal. Sayang, no? Sayang.
Ayaw pa naman nating mawala yung signal ni attorney, no? Pero sige, we'll have a short break. Mag-break muna tayo. Let's have a short break. At hopefully, pagbalik ni attorney, ni attorney, medyo okay na, no? Sandali lang ho, no? Tayo ho ay magbabalik lang ho. Magbe-break lang tayo. At pagbalik natin, hopefully, andyan na si attorney. Saglit po lamang.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%, all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Hey. Okay, tuloy-tuloy tayo sa ating program. Ayan, ito po ang Immigration Corner on a Thursday night. Happy Thursday ho sa inyong lahat. Ayan, mali yata, mukhang nausog yata nung binanggit ko yung napaka-cute na attire ni attorney ngayon. No? Attorney, mukhang napurnada yata na ano. Ano ba nangyari?
Ewan ko, bigla akong nawala, no? I'm having I don't know, my iPad seemed to be going on strike. Hopefully na okay ulit. No?
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully it's gonna be changes. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be smooth sailing na from now until the end of the program. Ayan, okay. O nga. So teka muna, balikan lang kita. So pagkatapos nung so what was between then and now? So nakapaloob dun yung COVID vaccination mo. So what was the usual siguro weekend? Ano ginawa mo ng weekend? How was it?
Not much actually. I think I tell you what, mainly part of what I've been doing in the last few days is I've been pining for Doritos. I gave it up for Lent. No?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm so looking forward to. Yeah.
Wow.
So I
looking forward to what? To have it again.
Forward to
to have it again. Okay.
I'm allowed again. Is it Sunday? No, Sunday or Monday ba ta? No, Sunday. Easter Sunday. Naman, di ba?
So for this nagkaroon ka na parang konting parang may konti kang panata or something o parang commitment na or Lenten ba tawag diyan? Parang di ba pagka Lent ano ba tawag doon?
Ang tawag natin sa
may tawag sa Pilipinas.
Tama ka.
Parang di ba? You will cut down on anything, di ba? Pa kunyari, kung siguro one way mo lang, let's say if you're smoking 10 a pack a day, siguro mga 10 ka muna. Pero hindi siguro, if you could totally, pero sa bagay, pagka-addicted ka, it would be very difficult, di ba? Kunyari, kung one pack a day, so siguro, ang penitensya.
Yung na nga, penitensya.
Yung penitensya.
You're supposed to it shouldn't be something that you would, you would not, that would be too easy, diba? So, I mean, I don't take sugar in my coffee or tea. So if it's a bit of a cheat to say I'm giving up sugar on my tea or coffee. But I thought, okay, ano bang bisyo ko, no? That would really bug me. And I thought, okay. Doritos
is one of them. Okay. Oh.
And actually coffee also. You know? So I've given up both. And so I'm
Really? Coffee,
yeah,
Okay.
Coffee's been I think between the two, mas mahirap ata yung Doritos dahil sa gabi ko kinakain at the weekend, you know.
Wow.
I don't know if you do that. Yeah.
Tumaba ako diyan, Attorney. Ito, guilty ako minsan kasi in the evening minsan manonood ako ng mga Netflix or Prime Video. Talagang kumakain ako, talagang matakaw ako niyan talaga, lalo na pag mga traveling and everything, no. I'm cutting that down. Pero at saka yung popcorn. Hindi na ako nagpa-popcorn. Ikaw, bilib ako sa sugar, sinasabi mo, pero ako talaga hindi ako nag-sugar. Tiniis ko. I'm trying to tumaba ako. Lumaki ako na konti. Tiyan ko, ganyan. So, ang hirap ibalik, attorney. Talaga matrabaho eh. It's easy to put on the, di ba? The mga poundages, di ba? Pero yung pagtanggal ang mahirap. Pero ikaw, does it run in the family na medyo slim kayo? Or slimin? Parang hindi ka tabain, ganun? Your mom mo ba, ganyan? Yung grandmother mo ba? Parang how are they?
We're mixed. As for we're mixed. Father's side ko tend to be a little bit slimmer nga, no? And then my mother's side not so much. But no, it's mixed. I think partly yung nga din your lifestyle, no? I must say ako ang tamad ko, no? I just
really, eh? And you're one of those lucky, lazy people, no? Because you still, a lot of people would probably, I don't know, no? Inggit na inggit siguro sa'yo because some people are really gaining weight at saka bilog. Ikaw hindi, you're still. Have you ever gained weight? Talagang malaki-malaki? Lumaki ka ba talaga?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's generally, I think, I've kept pretty much very similar weight nga. It's I'm not sure. Maybe Doritos has some kind of benefit. Because I eat the stuff really by. No, of course you can't really measure it by the gallons, but if you could, it would be by the gallons. No. So I'm so looking forward to. I think it's Sunday that I'm allowed to. Tsaka coffee.
May ano ka ba? May ano ka ba? Parang how do you cheating day or cheating? You eat what you want to eat. Kami we do that on a Saturday yata or Saturday or Sunday. Once a week lang. Pero pagkatapos nun, wala na, no? Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's also a good thing to do. No, you should, it must be quite depressed. It is depressing if you deprive yourself of everything, no?
Yes,
I think
tama yan.
you should also enjoy, cake within moderation nga din. But the problem with me, I don't know if you have this, no? Crisps, Doritos, cakes I'm not so bothered about, but Doritos nga and crisps, kung nandiyan, bukas yung packet, I have to finish it.
All right, okay. Ako, attorney ako, pagka may chocolates, patakaw ako sa chocolates eh. Talagang inuubos ko yan talaga. Kaya pag wala naman, pagka tinaguan mo ako ng chocolate, hindi naman ako naghahanap. Pero once nakita ko, malakas akong kumain talaga ng chocolates. Yan ang one of my weaknesses, no? Kaya bumili ako ng dark chocolate because I'm concerned about my heart kasi sabi nga yata nila mga dark chocolates good for the heart daw. So what I did, ang problema sa dark chocolate, walang masyadong lasa, matapang yun. Parang kumain ng cocoa, parang gano'n, parang may word sila diyan, 'di ba? Parang pinapak mo ang cocoa. Oo, yung Ricoa, 'di ba? Are you familiar with Ricoa sa Pilipinas? Di ba? Parang,
yeah.
Di ba? Hindi ka mukha ng Milo. Are you familiar with Milo?
Yeah. No, but that was my favorite as a child, no? Milo.
Pinapapak mo rin ba? Yung minsan, kinakain, no? O, di ba? Between Milo and Cocoa, Ricoa, mas madaling kainin yung Milo. Masarap eh. Di ba?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pero ibig sabihin, I'm going back to the dark chocolates. Mas madaling kainin yung mga milk chocolates na Cadbury dahil maganda ang timpla eh, di ba? Milk chocolates eh. Pero yung pagka nag-dark chocolate na, parang pero tinitiis ko na lang because of the health properties or health benefits daw kuno. Okay, tuloy lang natin sa ating mga yung mga pakibasa to, attorney.
Okay. So Juliet,
YouTube yan.
Marcelino po. So YouTube. Thank you, Juliet. No. Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday to all the viewers. Yeah. Hello.
Uy, Hindi ko alam kung nahihilo yung mga viewers natin. On a Tuesday, binabati ka at good evening, Attorney Lira.
Oh, that's nice.
Akala nila Thursday yung Tuesday, no? Oh, yeah. Ito, siya, pakibasa, Attorney. Sige, ikaw na muna magbasa ng ating mga ano.
From Mika. So, good evening po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Hello, Mika. Kumusta po?
Hello, Mika. Ang ganda ng name niya, Mika, no? Or Mika. So, ayan. Okay, ito next one natin is, ayan, Facebook pa rin.
Yeah, Facebook pa rin. So from Don War, so sabi niya, magandang gabi si Sonny and Attorney Lira. Magandang gabi po. Yeah, Facebook
gandang gabi.
ulit.
Ganda ng pangalan niya, Don War, no? War, no?
Don War,
okay.
yeah.
Ayan. Well, talking of Doritos, ito si Mr. Libro.
Yeah. Mr. Libro. Our friend from Belfast,
Friend
Mr.
from
Rudy
Belfast.
Libro. So,
si Rudy.
So sabi niya, happy Thursday, Attorney Lovely Lira. I like Mr. Libro. Sir Sonny and all kababayan. Yeah. Another informative show from Belfast.
Yes. Good evening. Si Rudy, no? Yung dad ni Mia. Librogio sila dyan eh. Did they pronounce it Librogio, yung mga British, no? Pero kung si I know sa attorney sa Spain, lalo na sa place namin yung Torrevieja, pero Torrevieja, siguro pronunciation nila rito Libroco, no? Because I think the British, pero siguro I don't know kung Librogio sila talaga diyan, no? Pero yung some of the J's in Spain, they pronounce, na mga British, they pronounce it as K, like Rioja, yung Rioja na wine, Rioja. They pronounce it Rioja, no? So Rioja. Hindi nila ma-pronounce yan eh. Yes. May ano yan, napakahusay na anak niya, si Mia Librojo or Librogio.
Yeah.
Ayan. Okay,
very talented Mia.
Very talented si Mia. Very talented.
Yeah.
Favorite natin.
So, favorite Miss M. Gilling. The lovely Miss Gilling. So sabi niya, hi, good evening po, sir, and my lovely ma'am. Happy Thursday po. Yeah, happy Thursday, Miss Gilling.
Happy Thursday, MM, no? Maraming na-intriga siya. Sabi, ano kaya itsura niya si MM Gilling, no? Kailangan ma-meet natin. So, pagka tayo nagkaroon ng ating parang summer trip, no? Magkikita-kita tayo, get together, no? So, ayan. Ito, Richard Borse. Ito
Richard Borse.
Si Richard, binabati ka nung Tuesday kay Attorney Dana's program. Good evening, Attorney Lira. Ito yata si Richard yun eh. Richard, good evening.
Okay,
yes.
Right.
Richard.
I'm here. Yeah, so
YouTube.
Nice to see you, no? So good evening po, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday to everyone. Nice of you to join us, Richard. Thank you so much.
Ito si Joan Serrano, watching daw. Yan, sabi niya. Nasa London lang.
Wow, Liverpool Street. Yeah, I'm watching from Liverpool Street po. Wow. Yeah, it's my first time to join this po. So you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Kaya nga sabi ko, di ba, you said na feel mo parang baka previously nanood na. No, I was sensing na parang first time natin to, no? Ayan. And from Liverpool Street in London ba yan? Liverpool Street yan sa London yan, no? And from Liverpool Street, ano ba yan? Let's go now to Belgium. Yan, pakibasa yan, Attorney.
Wow, Belgium. So, okay. So, this from Darmin Balarijon, no?
Balarinon. Ayan.
Balarinon, sorry, I don't have my glasses.
Balarinon.
Hello po. Look at
Attorney,
the picture is lovely.
Medyo nakakatuwa ngayon tonight because aside from saying hello to us, they are letting us know where they are from, no? Where they guys are from, watching from, no? So ayan, Attorney, ayan, no?
No, talaga. Hello po, watching from Iraq.
Kumusta?
My goodness me.
Kumusta ka riyan, no? Marie Chris, Abulon. Abulon ba?
Abulon. Wow.
Abulon, no? Kumusta? Hindi ba magulo dyan sa Iraq? Okay lang ba kayo sa Iraq na? Diba? No? Sana, ingat kayo. It's nice that you guys are watching us. We'd like to ask everybody who are watching right now to share the program ho. Ito ay parang public service natin at informative ho sa inyo, no? Kayo ho maaaring nasa Switzerland, nasa Iraq kayo, baka biglang makapunta kayo dito o may relatives ho kayong nandito na may problema sa immigration. Pwede ho ninyong itanong, no? At pakipasok na ho yung mga tanong ho ninyo because medyo mabilis ho tayo, hindi tayo magtatagal sa ating mga questions, no? Okay. Joy Garcia, attorney, ito. Si Joy Garcia, uy, nakakatuwa. Sabi, good evening. Okay. Ito, basahin mo kung where she is watching from, attorney.
Wow. So, yeah, Joy Garcia, I'm watching from Switzerland. Oh, Miss Garcia. Kamusta po? Thank you very much for joining us.
Ayan, okay, alright. So, ito, si Mar Latan. Ito si, Mark Natal to, no? Hello po, Sir, Mr. Sonny, attorney Lira, watching from Fulham. Nasa trabaho ka ba ngayon? Because he works in a delivery, yata, di ba? Food delivery. Or parang gumagawa sila ng pagkain siguro tapos dinideliver. Kaya di ba, one time tinatanong natin, ba't nagtatrabaho ka pa? Yung pala nasa delivery. Delivery nga ba? O no, restaurant. Pero sarado ang mga restaurants ngayon, di ba, attorney? Nasa delivery yata siya dati, no?
I think it's a takeaway. Ang sipag nga niya, no? He's always working, Mr. Natal.
Ayan, oo. Kilala, sabi niya, I'm sure kilala na po ako ni Mr. Sonny as Mark Nataloy. Hi, Mark. Good evening, no? Si Marie Chris says, okay naman daw siya sa Iraq.
Yeah.
At saka, thank you at nandito ka, nasama ka. Well, at least, no? Kumusta? Meron ba diyang, may COVID cases ba kayo dyan? May problema ba kayo? May vaccination na ba sa Iraq? Ano bang balita mo, no? Diyan sa inyo. Ayan, okay. Si Rudy Librojo o Librojo. Sabi niya, salamat daw po sa comments mo sa mga original songs ni Mia. And hi to Attorney Lira and all viewers. Ayan. Si Mia from Belfast. Yes, good evening, no? Oo. Ayun. Alright. Guys, if you have any questions, ipasok na ho ninyo. Teka, sige, isang mabilis lang siguro. Si Mark Abulyon, marami po akong gustong malaman, itanong about sa Europe po. Sige, okay lang, no? Si Mark, si Natal, no? Sabi niya, yes, Sir Sonny, no? Nasa yata siya, di ba? Parang takeaway, no? Ayan, tama, takeaway. Yeah, Sir Sonny, takeaway. And then, si Erwin Batungbakal. Ayan, good evening po, Attorney Lira and Kuya Sonny. Happy Thursday and have a blessed Holy Thursday. Monday, Thursday pala ngayon. Holy Thursday, Monday, Thursday, to all. Ayan. Oo. Ibang-iba sa Pilipinas, ibang-iba ho sa Europe. Dito, hindi tayo masyadong kasing religious na mga sa Pilipinas. No? Ibang sistema natin doon. Okay. Magbe-break lang ako. Pag-break natin, attorney, pagbalik natin, doon na tayo sa ating topic na yung di-discuss mo, no? Yung traveling in and out of the UK. Ako, napakagandang topic ko nito. I think we had this last time and it was very, very interesting because very informative. Marami kaming nalaman sa iyo. So ito, may mga updates ba ngayon? These are the updates?
Yes. Okay. May updates nga.
May mga updates na. Okay. Huwag ko kaya alis. Kami ho ni attorney ay magbabalik at tatalakayin ni attorney yung ating topic na traveling in and out of the United Kingdom. Huwag ko kaya alis.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Okay, balik tayo sa ating program, no? Sa ating programa. Ako po si Sonny Laragan. For those who tuned in just now sa ating program, syempre, kasama natin yung pinakamamahal nating abogada. Walang iba kundi si Attorney Lira Simon Cabatbat. Attorney, once again, good evening, no? Sa'yo. Good evening, good evening. All right. Okay, so ito na yung tatalakayin natin, no? Para medyo mas mahaba-haba na ang marami tayong matututunan for this evening, no? Lalo na if you plan on traveling to the Philippines, especially kung may emergency or anything, no? At talagang kailangan umuwi kayo. Ito, alamin ho natin. So, Attorney, you take it away.
Okay. All right. So, pag-uusapan po natin ngayon, traveling in and out of the United Kingdom nga, but specifically to do with COVID rules, no? Now, if you have any questions nga about this topic or any topic, handaan nyo na ngayon, and we can certainly happy to take questions nga later. So, we've broken it down, yung topic nga natin, broken it down to really three main areas. So, unang-una po, can you even leave the United Kingdom? So, leaving the UK. Anong kailangan mong gawin? Anong kailangan yung tingnan? Can you even leave? No? And then pangalawa, say gusto nyo umuwi sa atin, traveling back to the Philippines or traveling to the Philippines, can you even do that? No? Would they even allow you back in? No? And then pangatlo, coming back or entering the United Kingdom. So, especially kung ang sitwasyon yun, nandito nga kayo nakatira na, tapos gusto niyo umuwi sa atin, no? And then you want to then come back to the UK. This topic is probably of particular interest to you. So we're going to look at the practical steps you need to take, no? And also the legal requirements given COVID. So if you're in the UK, leaving the UK, say going to the Philippines, from the Philippines coming back to the United Kingdom, no? Now, there's quite a bit to say, and there've been a lot of updates recently. So the previous topic that we had before was, I think, quite interesting for a lot of people, but that was probably then superseded by the current provisions. So a lot of these topics have been updated either end of March or indeed even more recently. So, okay, so unang-una po, leaving the United Kingdom if you're living in the UK. So dito kayo nakatira, gusto nyo umalis, gusto nyo bumalik nga sa Pinas, gusto nyo meron kang bibisitahin nga sa atin, no? So, first question nga is, can you even do that? Now, what the current law says, and this is travel advice from the Home Office website, updated last time on the 26th of March, so fairly recently, so only a few days ago. Now, you can only currently travel abroad if you have what they call reasonable excuse. No? Holidays are not reasonable excuse. So, holidays are not permitted. So, kung uuwi kayo sa atin, bakasyon nga lang, dito kayo nakatira sa UK, then you're not allowed simply to do that because they want to limit people from leaving the United Kingdom. However, there are what they call legally permitted reasons. And they are, and I will list them for you. So, unang-una po, trabaho, no? Pero kailangan nyo pakita, kailangan yung ebidensya nga na that you are actually required. So, I mean, it would be nonsensical if you're based in the UK and then you're saying you need to go back, you need to go to the Philippines because of employment, because you need to provide evidence actually that your employment require you to travel back. No? Now, another permitted reason is volunteering. So, for example, if you're working for Oxfam, no, and you want or Red Cross, you're going to the Philippines in order to carry out your volunteer work, then again, you need evidence. Now, there's also something called, it's fairly wide, medical or compassionate grounds, no. So, unfortunately, sometimes nga, kababayan din nga natin, you may need to visit family, friends nga who are dying or critically ill. So, they would potentially be medical or compassionate grounds. Again, evidence is needed. So, it would be hospital report, for example, to say that you're going to visit your parents, for example, or loved one in the Philippines. Education. Now, you can also travel abroad, to the Philippines, for example, you can do that if you live abroad and allowed to return home for purposes of, say, university vacation. No, again, evidence is required. Now, weddings, funerals, and related events. Now, you can only travel for funeral, but not, for example, commemorative events or burial ground. No, again, evidence is needed. So they would allow you to travel to attend a funeral, but you need evidence nga din ulit. Also allowing access to parents with children who do not live in the same country. So kung meron kang bibisitahin, you have minor children, no? So under the age of 18, then that could be a permitted reason. Now, if you do not usually live in the United Kingdom, so nandito kayo as a visitor, then you are you're allowed to leave the United Kingdom because you're only in the UK temporarily. You know? But of course, there you need to check that you can actually go back to your home country. So sabihin natin, nandito nga kayo, dito kayo nakatira, and you want to now travel to the Philippines. Because that's your original home country. Now, so question is, will the Philippines authorities even let you in? No. Now, the main task force that deal with the regulation of travel in and out of the UK during COVID is, they're called the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Now they set out, they provide by a series of resolutions what the current position is in the Philippines. Now, the last resolution that was published was dated the 25th of March, so only a few days ago. So effective from the 22nd of March to the 21st of April po, no? So in about 4 weeks, entry to the Philippines is prohibited, no? Except for very few types of people. So unang-una po, overseas Filipinos. So kung Pilipino kayo, then you can travel back, pwede kayong umuwi sa atin. Now, if you are, however, foreign national, so sabihin natin, you're not dual. Nandito kayo, and you have a British passport, dahil matagal ka na nga dito, gusto mo umuwi sa atin, you originally nga Filipino, but you do not have dual citizenship. Now, for the purposes of itong resolution na ito, then you are, of course, British. You're not Filipino, so you would not be considered overseas Filipino, which means that you need to look to see if other possibilities apply to you in order for you to be able to return. So foreign nationals, they're only very limited, actually 2 or 3 circumstances where foreign nationals are allowed, and they list them. So they refer to what's called 9E type visa. Basically, that means diplomats, no? People who are working for a foreign government, for example, is family, attendant, servants, and employees. So you're working for another. So if you're working for the British Embassy, for example, nga sa atin, and you're returning there, then you're likely to have this 9E type visa. Then you're allowed to return to the Philippines. Or they say what's called a 47A brackets 2 type visa. Now under that, they mean foreign investors, no? You then are, so if you have an investment, you have a business nga sa atin, and you have that type of visa, you're foreign investor, then you can, you're allowed to also return, but check nga your visa. Now, foreign nationals under what's called the green lane, no? Basically, they're sailors, no? Seafarers. They normally have what's called 9C type visa. So ibig sabihin, you're not, they're not Filipino nationals, but they're part of a shipping trade nga who's going through, and they're going through via what's called green lanes, no? Additionally, also allowed are foreign spouses and children of Filipino citizens. So, kung nandito nga kayo, you're Filipino citizen, you have indefinite leave to remain, kasal ka dito, meron kang asawa nga dito, meron kang mga anak, you want to go to the Philippines, and you're all traveling back together, again, and of course that they have valid visas, that also is allowed. Pero kailangan kasama ka, no? Kung ikaw ang Pilipino, then kailangan kasama ka. They can't just travel on their own. No? So there are very limited circumstances also that allow Filipino citizens nga to return, or those who have links nga to the Philippines. Now, the first obstacle, or rather the first thing to look at, is the airlines, no? Because it's one thing to have your visa ready, but you have to also be aware of the airlines requirements. Now, airlines, British Airways nga, Kuwait Airlines, or indeed Philippine Airlines, they may well have different rules and provisions. Now, so if I look today at the Philippine Airline update, and their update was actually made as recently as the 31st of March, so kahapon po. Now, what they say they need to see is you need to make sure that you're wearing face mask, no? When you're traveling. You need to also register, no? You need to complete this case investigation form. You need to be able to register where you're going to go so that they can track you. There's also a mandatory use requirement of this Trace mobile application. So we also have it here where you have the QR code that you scan, no? Because they want to be able to track and trace you. So that's all mandatory. Kailangan yung gawin lahat yun. Some airlines would also want more. So for example, negative COVID test before you even travel. So bago kayo magbiyahe, no? Even if you must always check. When you book, anyway, you should check. But before you travel, at least 2 days before, and certainly the day before, and even on the day, make sure that you check, because that's the thing with COVID rules. It's very fluid, or sometimes things can change very, very quickly. So now, you've established you can leave the United Kingdom. You're now en route back to the Philippines. You got on the plane, and you're traveling back, and will land in the Philippines sometime soon. Now, when you arrive in the Philippines, what do you do? No, what are required? Now, upon entering the Philippines, there are travel restrictions. So you're required to quarantine in a quarantine hotel, and that's usually out for 7 days. On the 6th day, they do a swab test. If it's negative, then they let you out. But you need to say saan ka pupunta, and you're required to stay actually in your home to complete the 14 days. So you don't forget. So kailangan bago kayo magbiyahe, you must book the quarantine hotel nga in the Philippines. The cost of that you have to pay yourself, and it varies also as to cost. So just check it out, and obviously make sure that you book the one that's most convenient also to you. But it's very important you book that beforehand. So pagka dumating na kayo doon, then you can simply travel to the hotel. Some hotels also provide kind of minibuses so they can fetch you. But others do not, so you need to make your own way. So check it out first, no? And then obviously the sooner you book it, the more certain you can be that merong ang placement, no? Now, so say nandun ka na sa Pinas, you're having a great time, and hopefully you're safe, no? Now comes the time now you need to come back to the United Kingdom. So tapos na yung holiday nyo, you want to come back to the United Kingdom. Now, the good news is the Philippines at the moment is not part of what they call the red list countries, no? Because that makes a difference. So when you're traveling back to the UK, there are things to consider. Unang-una, are you even allowed into the UK? No? If you are allowed into the United Kingdom, what do you need to do in order to comply with the current COVID rule requirements? So ito po. So unang-una, as I say, Philippines is not part of the red list countries, at least not yet. Now, even if it were part of the red list countries, and I can give you, there are 35 countries at the moment on the list, you would still be allowed to come back to the United Kingdom, even if you're coming from those countries or passing through those countries, as long as you are British, Irish, or anyone with residence rights in the UK. So indefinite leave ka. But if you are visiting, so sabihin natin, let's have a look at the list nga nito. The first one on the list is Angola. No? Second on the list is Argentina. That's the red list nga. So if you're coming from Angola, sabihin natin, no? And you're only coming to the UK to visit, you will actually not be allowed to come in because it is a visit visa from a red list country. But if you are a British citizen, indefinite leave to remain, or if you're Irish, you can come back to the UK, but you need to quarantine. And this is where the quarantine hotels also kick in. Now, you need to book, therefore, your quarantine hotel. You have to pay that yourself. And I think last count, it was something like a little over £1,700 for the 10-day period that you are required to quarantine. So included there's your food, for example, but you are then required to quarantine, but only if you're passing through or coming from one of the red list countries, and there are 5. And as I say, Philippines, at least at the moment, is not part of that. Now, if you are, however, coming back from the Philippines, you want to come into the United Kingdom, you are still subject to COVID rules, no? Anong kailangan yung gawin? And there you have 2 things, two options. Now, when you are coming into the UK, you must complete, unang-una po, passenger locator form and have proof of a negative COVID test, no? Before you even board the flight, no? So you're coming into the UK. So yung dalawang yon, you must complete it, you must have it. Otherwise, they won't they won't even entertain you entering the UK. Now, assuming you are not coming in from one of the red list countries, and you've completed now those 2 things, you have the negative COVID test, and then on top of that, you've completed the relevant form. You then have, in the UK, 2 choices. So, you can, assuming you don't need to have the hotel nga, you can either, you can book a test, no? A coronavirus test. Now, they will send that to you, okay? And you test yourself on day 2 and day 8 of the quarantining. Remember, kailangan nyo pa rin mag-quarantine for 10 days. So on day 2 and day 8, you need to quarantine. They will send to do the test. But for 10 days now, you're quarantined. And if that's negative after 10 days, then you can the quarantine can cease. So yun ang una. So it's called so you have the test sent to you, and you do the 2-day, the test over on the 2nd day and also on the 8th day. Now, if you're in a bit of a rush, what you could do is there's something called the test to release. No, now ito that means that on the 5th day, so nandito kayo, you're still quarantining, you can cut the isolation date from 10 days to 5 days, as long as you book a test with a test center nga that is approved by the government, no? On the and that test will take place on day 5 of the quarantine. So dumating kayo dito, that's arrival date is day 0. The day after is day 1. So if you arrive today, this is day 0. You count the day from tomorrow, and on the 5th day, you can, if you booked it, this test and release, and it's negative, then rather than having a 10-day quarantine, then you have 5-day instead. Oops. So it may potentially allow you to be released from quarantine a little bit sooner. Pero importante po, you follow those rules, because there are, let me just mention this also, quite heavy penalties, no, kung hindi nyo gawin. So, for example, no, if you don't comply, you're looking potentially at £1,000 those travelers who failed to take the mandatory tests, no? And 2,000 pounds po for failing to take the second mandatory test. So sabihin natin, the first mandatory test nga, the second day, hindi nyo ginawa. That's already 1,000 pounds. The second one, on day 8, hindi nyo din ginawa. That's another 2,000 pounds, so 3,000 pounds na, no? Along with further, on top of that, they will penalize you, they stick on another 14-day extension to the quarantine. Now, and this is quite also obviously heavy fines, no? Residents arriving into England who lie, okay, on the passenger locator forms, so you didn't want to quarantine, or you're coming via one of the red listed countries. If you do not make a full disclosure, no, they can fine you 10,000 pounds, no, and up to 10 years in prison. Astonishing, but at the moment that is what they say you could be you could be liable for. Now, those who fail to quarantine also in the designated hotel, pagka nandito na kayo, no, can be fined between 5,000 to 10,000 pounds. No? So, importante po you follow. You must make sure that you're organized and you follow and you book whatever tests need to be undertaken nga. Otherwise, you may find na either hindi kayo papasukin sa atin if you're going back to the Philippines, or hindi kayo papasukin dito, no? O papasukin kayo, but then you're subject to huge fines. So the moral of the story is, if you're traveling, make sure, no, na alam nyo the COVID rules and you follow them through. Hopefully hindi na ito matatagalan, but at the moment these rules are strictly applied, and it's very, very important that you follow them. Otherwise, as I've said, you're looking at considerable fines and potentially even 10 years in jail. So be careful. So hopefully it's that was
Okay lang. Ayan, oo. All right. Ayan. So, ayan. Yan ang mga ano tawag dito. Yan ang mga latest updates, no, traveling and out of the UK, attorney, no. Magpapakilala lang tayo ng station natin, no. So do sa mga nanonood, just letting you know, parang station ID lang natin muna, or top of the hour ano lang, no, ID. Sandali lang ho, no. Huwag ko kayo nga alis, saglit lang. Ayan, saglit lang po. We're coming back. Mabilis lang to. Okay. Ayan, tuloy-tuloy tayo sa ating program, no. Ayan. Attorney, gusto ko lang i-acknowledge tong itong tag dito. I-acknowledge ko lang tong kaya lang nandoon siya sa Pinoy Radio UK, no. Pero nakakatuwa lang kasi shinare niya yung ating show. Ayan. Si Leonora Garcia Graciano, her name, nag-message siya sa shinare niya yung ating live feed na nando doon sa may ayan, kita mo, naka-share siya, attorney, oh.
Wonderful,
ayan,
yeah.
Wonderful. So you can see yourself dyan, no? So ayan, sa page niya, no, Leonora Garcia Graciano, pero sinishare nyo. So kung puntahan nyo yung page niya, makikita nyo sinishare niya. So thank you very much sa Leonora, much appreciated, no? Nakakatuwa naman, no? Bilang mo, sinishare niya yung ating show, no? At si Edgar Duway naman, while watching the show naman, eto naman, no, gawa siya ng comics daw, pero he's watching us right now, no? Ayan, si Edgar Duway. So, ayan, mabuhay, no? Monitors, television, halo-halo na yan, no? Ayan, he's doing something, he's doing a bit of a comic, comic siya tayo. Buhay sa UK, buhay Pinoy sa UK. Alright. Attorney, teka muna, pagka, yan, halimbawa, yung mga 10,000 na pagka, di ba? 10,000, 2,000, mga halo-halo. Actually, yung, kung i-convert mo sa pesos, no, yung, parang abot na ng almost more than half a million or almost a million pagka nagpatong-patong pa because 10,000 pounds yung pinakamalalang penalty is worth magkano? Sabihin na natin 660,000 pesos.
Yeah, at the moment a bit higher than 60 pesos, no? But sabihin natin, tama. Yeah.
Oh,
huge,
600,000. No? Oh, huge. Plus yung iba pang mga penalties. Kung let's say, you were remiss with the other, yung mga date. Ano yung mga, ano mo uli? Ano yung mga, may mga certain, paano yung uli yung mga test na kailangan?
So, okay. So, on day, if you go for the 2-day test nga, no? On the 2nd day and the 8th day, no? You're supposed to provide them with your test kit na. Now kung di mo gawin on the mandatory test, no, on both days, that's already 1,000 yung unang-una if you fail to submit the first, and then 2,000 yung pangalawa, so you're looking at 3,000
na.
So 3,000 na. So hindi mo ginawa, no? Tapos sabihin natin nagsinungaling ka, no?
Ano sa locator? Nagsinungaling sa locator? Hindi, iba pa 'yan. Yun ang pinakamahal yata,
on the locator form. That's the 10 years nga. So on the locator form, sabihin mo natin I don't know, you didn't put forward you didn't say that actually you passed through Angola, no? The red list country.
Red list country.
So you didn't want to quarantine in a hotel. Yung 10,000 pounds, no? So it's a huge amount. On top of that, potentially 10 years in jail. But even if you just look at the money, so you're looking at, kung hindi mo gawin yung mandatory test, 10,000 po, 13,000, no? And then, sabihin natin, you didn't then quarantine a hotel because you didn't want to do that, no?
Okay.
Then, fine is anything between 5,000 and 10,000 pounds. So, you're looking at potentially 23,000 pounds if you breach all these conditions, no?
Ano yan, parang more than 1.5 million siguro mahigit to. Sabihin na natin in pesos.
Yeah, mahigit. So
ganun katindi ang ang penalties, no? Pero dito, 'di ba, yung fine nila rin dito 10,000 din, 'di ba? Yung stay at home and then you go out and let's say the police by accident or by for some reason catches you and you are far away, you're not local, if a fine ka na 10,000 pounds ang pagkakaalam ko eh. So that would be talagang siguro because we have to be really strict, no. Kailangan talagang pasunurin na because we have to get out of this this pandemic, 'di ba? Itong problema natin. Let's all go back to normalcy. Very abnormal as ang lives natin ngayon, no. So ayan. Attorney, sabi mo kanina, legally permitted reasons, sabi mo work, no. Yung work na yan. Tapos siyempre you're required to travel, no. Volunteering yan. Ano yan? Kailangan ba yan sa mga accredited na organizations like yung kanina binanggit mo yung mga ano pangalan nun? Yung ano yung binanggit mo? Oxfam, Oxfam, mga ganun.
Kaya Red Cross. Well, it's a question really of evidence, no? So, if you are if it's an organization nga like Red Cross nga, Oxfam, that sort of thing, a charity, for example, that's known and proven to be genuine nga, then you need a letter from them basically to say you're going there, you're volunteering, and that is permitted reason, legally permitted reason. Pero sabihin natin any kind of a sumulat ang auntie mo, no, she's coming here, she's going to volunteer to look after me because may sakit nga ako. That's not going to fly. No,
that's not going to fly.
Going to be accepted. No.
Okay.
So they're very limited, and it is on purpose that they've done this. Nga, very, very limited possibilities nga, of leaving the United Kingdom if you're already living. Nga, if this is home for you.
Education yata nabanggit mo, no? Parang bakit, let's say for example, if you're a student back home in the Philippines, ganyan, and you have to go back home studying, may anak tayong, misa kasi mga dito sa UK, di ba? They find it a lot cheaper to finish yung mga medicine ganyan sa Pilipinas, halimbawa, pinauuwi, no? Yan, that could also be one of the reasons, no? Pwede, no? Although, medicine. I mean, pero ang point is, yung umuwi, is that to go back home to study, kung estudyante ka? And if you can prove that you're... Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what the law actually says is you're permitted to travel abroad. So this is actually, in fact, what their provisions say. If you study in the UK, yeah, but live abroad, allowed to return home for purpose of university vacation on one occasion before the 29th of April. But again, kailangan mong ebidensya. But if you say you're here temporarily, visito ka o kaya estudyante ka nga dito, you're allowed to leave the United Kingdom because this is not where you live nga. You're allowed to go back. Yung nga lang, you will be faced with exactly the same conditions when you come back into the UK. Tsaka kailangan nyo din mag-ingat kung sabihin natin student visa ka nga, no? Tapos matatapos na yung visa mo. You have to be just careful nga that it is a good time to actually return because it may be that magkakaproblema kang pabalik nga dito. So just beware on a practical basis also. Look at your visa. Is it long enough?
Okay, well, yung marami na tayong mga Filipinos na British citizen na, no? Sabi mo kanina, the people who can come back are either British, Irish, or permanent residents, no? Yung mga unlimited leave to remain. They have to make sure na hindi sila dadaan connecting flights or anything wala doon sa mga red list countries, no? Katulad ng ano nga ba mga red list countries? Angola, marami yan eh. Asan na ba yung kaninang nakita ko?
There's 35 countries at the moment. So I'll run through those very quickly. So Angola, so in alphabetical order, Angola, Argentina, Bolivia, Botswana, Brazil.
Sige.
Burundi,
Ipapakita ko sa kanila, attorney. Papakita ko rin sa kanila. Sige, para para makita din nila.
Verde,
Okay, ayan.
Chile.
So Angola,
yun nga.
Ayan, Argentina,
yun ang unang-una.
Bolivia, Brazil, Botswana, Brazil,
Burundi,
Cape Verde, no?
Chile,
Okay.
Colombia, no? Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ecuador, Eswatini.
Uy, ito saan yan? Saan yan Eswatini? Ngayon ko lang narinig yan,
I
Eswatini.
don't know actually.
Bago yan
I've
bansa yan?
Eswatini. I will look it up.
Sige, okay lang. Hindi, tingnan natin. Eswatini. Anyway, i-google na nila Eswatini. Ethiopia, yan.
Ethiopia po. Tapos French Guyana. Tapos Guyana mismo, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, so a lot of African countries. Tapos Oman, anyway, Panama.
Sa Middle East yan, Middle East.
Yeah. Yan na nga po. Tsaka Panama, no? Yeah, Paraguay.
Peru.
Thank you. Peru's been on the list for a long time. Qatar is also on the list. Yeah, marami
so pag Qatar Airlines, hindi ka pa pwede. No? Iwas ka sa Qatar Airlines. Rwanda.
Yun nga po, no? Rwanda. Seychelles, the lovely Seychelles. So part of the list. Somalia, no? South Africa. No, South Africa's been on that list for a long time. And this is another country I'm not familiar with. Suriname.
Suriname. Pero dati walang iyan eh. Suriname. May sumasali na contestant sa atin. Hindi, tama siguro. Pero baka yan talaga. Because there was this mga Miss Universe tapos nakikita natin sa dati Suriname lang without an E. Pero okay yan. Tanzania o Tanzania?
Yeah, Tanzania. Tapos,
Tanzania, okay.
Then the United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
Big place.
Ayan, Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai and so pagkagaling ka na Dubai, delikado pala if you do via Dubai, no? Or ano ba yung isang sikat na dalawang cities yan eh. Dalawang cities yan eh.
No, I think there are three, no?
Three. Pero yung isa yung Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Abu Dhabi yan.
Quite, yeah. So Venezuela,
Uruguay,
Zambia, and Zimbabwe. No? Yeah, so
ito, removed from the list na. Mauritius and Portugal.
Mauritius and Portugal, but not too long ago when it was taken off the list, which is good. So hopefully that they remain off the list. So at the moment there's 35 countries, and Philippines is not yet, part of the red list countries. Thank goodness, no. If you're booking your ticket, no, I mean it would be do not go through any of those countries.
Yes. Avoid them, no, para delikado. Delikado,
stopover
delikado.
in any of those countries, no. But as I say, Philippine Airlines, they offer direct flights, I think, no. Now, as I said, the 31st of March, they announced that there are certain things that they expect people to undertake if they're flying with them. So the usual stuff like masks, but they need to also have, they need to complete this form. They need mandatory tracing system. So you need to make sure that you also comply with those, no. So basically, if you're traveling, no, sabihin natin over the in April or indeed even in May, beginning of May, if you're traveling, nandito kayo nakatira, but you're traveling to the Philippines, beware. Unang-una po, can you leave the UK? No, that's the first thing to consider. If you can, what do you need to do? Can you then enter the Philippines? No? And if you can enter the Philippines, then what do you need to do in order to comply now with the COVID restrictions there? And then when you're coming back to the UK, what do you need to do in order to comply with the COVID restrictions here? So you need to allow, just to be on the safe side, quarantine time, 14 days, and of course 10 days. Well, actually 10 days and 10 days dito. But just allow a little bit more time, just in case you test also. Of course, if you test positive for COVID, then the quarantine time is longer. No? Beware.
Hopefully, yung magkakaroon tayo, sana matuloy, I don't know, yung vaccine passports, how do you call it? Vaccine passports or vaccination passport? Ako, I would really subscribe to it. Lalo na ako, I'd like to travel in June. Kung maging requirement yan, I'd like it to facilitate and somehow to give a bit of an assurance or a confidence amongst or in countries that we're going to, no? I would really subscribe to it, no? I'd like that to, kasi gusto na natin mag-travel eh. Nakakaano na eh, no? Nakakabiti na, no? Once you're hit by the travel bug, ano na yan, tuloy-tuloy na yan, di ba? So, traveling, pinag-uusapan natin. Attorney,
also, you see, when you're, I think it's a starting point, no? The passport vaccination passports, because it also, it could be, meron ka magulang mo sa atin, no? Gusto mo silang bisitahin, they've been unwell, no? So it's not a question of they're not so badly off that you can argue successfully medical compassionate grounds, but if they're getting on a bit tapos gusto mo silang bisitahin, they were unwell before, and you haven't seen them also for a long time, because of course we're now over 1 year na tayo, no, nito. So if you have the possibility of a vaccine passport, it could be that then you may be able to travel there, no?
Yes.
Back, say, to the Philippines, kung hindi ka Filipino passport holder anymore. So it's a starting point, di ba? So it would be good if it can be implemented.
Ano vaccine mo, attorney?
Ako, I did ask. I mean, actually, I asked because I thought it was one of the things that we discussed. AstraZeneca.
Pareho kayo ni Attorney Dana, no? AstraZeneca. Oh, yeah. Good. At least. Pero ikaw ba, binigyan ka na kagad ng date? Kasi si Attorney Dana may date na eh. Ng next niya, yung kanyang second dose. Meron ka na?
I think sa akin. Yeah, sa akin nga din.
Wow.
Well, actually,
wala pa ako.
When they text me, wala pa ba? No, I think
wala second. I had my first. But on the day that when I was there, it just said 12 weeks. Yun lang. Pero specified na ba sa'yo kung kailan ang date ng second dose mo? Wow.
Actually, when they text me, then and you book your first, and you then actually you're asked to automatically also book your second. Yung sa akin.
Hindi, wala sa akin. Kaya nga worried ako eh, lalo na ngayon nagkakaroon ng they're trying to hijack yung mga Pfizer, kasi Pfizer yung sa akin eh. 'Di ba? Yung sa Netherlands, saan ba yung gawaan ng Pfizer, no? Or Belgium, something of Pfizer Netherlands. Yung iniipit nila yung mga exports papunta rito sa UK. because wala tayong reciprocal na parang walang reciprocity in a way because we're not sending our yung para sa kanila coming from here na AstraZeneca. So, okay. Batiin ko lang muna itong mga doon sa Pinoy Radio UK, binabati tayo ni Crispina Smith, no? Hello po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny, God bless, no? And si Crush Candy, ganda ng pangalan niya, Crush Candy. Sa kabila to Crush Candy. Ang sabi niya, hello po, good evening po from Putney, Happy Easter. Ayan, kung gusto niyo mabasa yung mga message niyo, dito kayo pumunta sa Filipino TV Europe, Crispina Smith and Crush Candy, no? Ayan, thank you. So, okay. Ito, may tanong lang. Ito, I think taga-Iraq lang. Pero siguro she's asking about the jobs, no? Nasa iyo pa ba yung kopya, attorney, ng shortage list na So we could probably let her know lang dahil baka baka hindi lahat ng klase ng trabaho rito pwedeng pasukin ano pangalan niya? Si Maricris Abulon, no? It's nice.
Si Maricris Abulon.
Oo, ang mga rito, yata, kailangan, for example, nurses is one of the jobs, no? Senior healthcare, ano yung attorney? Senior care workers, yun ba yun?
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah, they would have had jobs.
Ano pa, yung, marami yan Ano ba yung mga jobs na open? Meron hindi ko makita yung listahan Alam ko yung updated para she will know, no? Because she would like to find out. Sabi niya, tanong ko po, kulang po, ma'am and sir, posibilidad po ba na makapag-work po ako sa Europe? Incoming pa lang po ang vaccine sa Iraq po. Pero anong trabaho mo sa Iraq, no? Kung ano ba ang tawag dito? Ano ba yung dito sa atin? Yung mga, I don't know kung siya ay nasa bahay, domestic, something, no? Ano dito ang, anong visa yon? Domestic visa, ano pangalan, no, attorney?
Domestic visa. So, it po, Ms. Bulon, so, ang unang ka lang, well, you can, is the, potentially, no, in Europe. So, it's difficult. I can't advise obviously about say Germany or the other European countries. But for the United Kingdom po, no. For the UK, there are routes to enter to work. So specifically now, there's this thing called skilled worker route, and that was introduced in December nga lang. And there were statement of changes as recently as the 4th of March. And some jobs which were not previously under the what's called shortage occupation list, which makes it potentially easier for that person, for that employee to come into the UK, are now included, and they include skill sets such as well, nurses are always there anyway, but nursing auxiliary, nursing assistants, senior care workers in the UK. So those people who are in the caring industry, so that's fairly recent, as I say, on the 4th of March. So that's one possibility. Now, kung domestic visa ka nga, and you want to come into the UK to work in the UK, that is outside the skilled worker route. So you cannot apply under the points-based system, and therefore the skilled worker route to come into the country as a domestic worker. Ibang-iba po yun. So ang unang kailangan mong tingnan ano bang trabaho mo, no? And then the second thing is, would you be able to get a job offer nga in the UK? So those are the first steps really to look at kung gusto mo magtrabaho dito.
Job order, importante. Hindi po pwedeng gusto mo lang pumunta rito. So may kailangan may tatanggap sa'yo. And ano ba usual na for the benefit of all the viewers, no? Hindi lang dito sa UK, maging nasa labas. Yung mga ganyang visa, paano, sabi mo, there has to be a job order. Paano ba yan? Paano ba nila nakukuha yan? Either sila ba'y kasambahay na nung British citizen, let's say nang nasa Hong Kong pa sila o nasa ibang bansa at dinala rito. Pwede ka ba magdala rito? Pwede bang mag-import ba rito ng ang isang dito dumating lang as may kumuha na job na as a employer, sabihin natin as a domestic helper. Hindi yata gano'n, di ba? Mostly, naisama yan papasok dito, no? Paano ba ang situation? What are the instances, attorney, na nangyayari itong, to be able to get a domestic helper visa?
Okay, so kung domestic visa ka, sa unang-una po ito, nagbago na nga yung batas, and unfortunately now, kung papasok, dati, ang lumang batas, kung domestic visa ka, pasok ka dito sa UK, pwede ka magpalit ng trabaho nga dito ng employer mo, and then you can extend also on that basis as long as full-time domestic visa ka, and then you can, after 5 years, you can actually apply even for indefinite leave to remain. At saka pwede mo din kunin mga pamilya mo. Lahat yun nagbago na po, no? So anyone now coming into the United Kingdom as a domestic worker, so unang-una, kung nandun kayo sa anumang bansa, no? So sabihin natin, if you're in Hong Kong, for example, or Iraq, you want to come into the UK as a domestic worker, you are accompanying, so sasamahan mo yung employer mo na nandun nga, usually doon ka based sa Iraq. Papasok ka dito, kasama ka nila. Ang bisang bibigay sa yung una, ang bisang bibigay sa yung maximum is 6 months po. No more than that, no? And pagka nandito ka na, hindi mo pwedeng palitan ang employer mo. Hindi mo pwedeng i-extend ang visa mo, no? Unfortunately. So basically, it's 6 months po lang. So it's a very restricted type visa. Before the 6 months is up, kailangan mo bumalik kung nasaan ka man. And then of course, next year, sabihin natin gusto mong pasok uli dito, gusto ka nilang isama, then panibagong domestic work visa. But it is very, very different now. Kung domestic visa ka, papasok ka nga dito, you can no longer simply extend your visa beyond the 6-month period. Unfortunately.
So attorney, for example, sinama kasi hindi naman pwedeng applyan yan, di ba? The only instance na pwede kang makapasok ay kung isinama ka ng employer mo. Ngayon, your employer decided to stay beyond 6 months. Uuwi ka lang, ganun ba? Parang you'll have to leave.
Tama.
So kunyari, tipong... Alright, they know for a fact that 6 months sila. Pero, 6 months yung magiging visa mo. Kaya lang, parang tinamad na, lumabas pa. Teka muna, hassle na naman. Kung babalik ako ng Hong Kong or Iraq o kung saan naman ako nakatira, stay muna ako. Paano? Ang mangyayari doon sa may domestic visa na yun, they will really have compelled to leave the country. Aalis kailangan sila? Walis?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And sometimes the situation can be quite difficult, no? Dahil I've dealt, for example, with families nga, no? Matagal na yung domestic worker sa kanila, and they, siya pang nagpalaki ng mga bata, or indeed a companion for a number of years for someone nga who's vulnerable, who's elderly or unwell, and then 6 months on, no? Pasok silang magkasama nga sila dito, and then they realize 6 months is approaching and the domestic worker needs to go back. And that can cause a whole load of problem. No? Unang-una nga, I've had clients whose employers have said, no, that can't be. They can't leave. They can't leave me. No? But I can't go back because of COVID. No? So that's also happened. So it's in the past, there's this thing called exceptional assurance that potentially could give a bit of a reprieve kung matatapos na nga ang visa, but that actually expired on the 31st of March. So at the moment, there's not even that that you can rely on. So unfortunately, kung ganun
so wala na.
Kung ganun status nila, kailangan
wala
talaga.
Talagang absolutely kailangan 6 months lang, no? Ganun. Okay. Pero posible ba, attorney, let's say, di ba, mga style mag-e-exit kunyari, isinama si kasambahay sa nag-Paris, France, or nag-Spain na lang, baka maluwag-luwag pa ron, or where else, no? Tapos bumalik ulit. Would that count again another 6 months?
Hindi po. Nagbago na din yun. That was actually the case some years back, probably, at 10, 15 years back. So the 6 months, the length of the visa, the duration actually of the visa, is no longer on the basis of entry mo. It's actually noted on the visa, on the entry visa nga when you come into the United Kingdom. So kung nandoon nga 6 months, kahit hindi mo nga ginamit immediately, so you get 6 months visa but you actually leave say Iraq, no, after 3 months, then ang natira nga lang na visa sa'yo is 3 months because you got then already the 6 months. So in the past, tama ka, that 6 months starts from the date of stamp, no, and of entry into the UK. Pero wala na po 'yon. Nagbago na po 'yon. Actually, it's great that you've noted that, because I come across actually still quite regularly people who think 6 months nga starts from the date of entry. Hindi po 'yon ang tama, no? 6 months is actually specified, or the length of your visa is actually specified on your entry clearance visa. Yung usually it's yellow,
Ganun,
no?
Oh,
Nandun po sa nasa taas, nandun yung
So, yun lang.
starting and expiry.
And it has to be renewed
Opo.
outside pa. Kung saan, kaso kung hindi mag-exit yung employer mo, wala rin. Where would you renew it, no? Walang renewal. So, okay. Wow. Napag-usapan lang natin lang, divert lang ako ng konti kasi meron tayong mga magpagbati. And ito sa ano lang, sa vaccination. This is also for the information of our kababayans, no? Pero hindi ko alam kung tama to. Kasi sabi niya, sabi ni Warlito de la Cruz, no, nag-message sa akin, attorney, no, Westfield, you can book please book your second vaccine 48 to 72 hours after you have had your first COVID vaccination. Please call 119 or go to, may link doon, no. Hindi ko alam kung ito dyan lang sa Westfield Vaccination Center or sa lahat na, because I'm so eager to have my second vaccination para matapos na, no, kasi worried ako dahil yung supplies nga ng Pfizer, no. So, yan, I'll give it a try. Subukan ko yan, no, baka sakali. Kasi ikaw nakakaingit ka, alam mo na ang date ng second dose mo. Si Dana knows the second dose. Ako hindi pa. So, nagwo-worry ako, no?
Book that.
Book
that, Sonny.
Kaya nga, ma-book na natin, no? Sige, medyo pasada lang dito sa, si Edgardo Enriquez, bumabati sa atin, yung ating nag-coin ng word ng happy, no? Happy Tuesday, happy Thursday. Ayan, good PM, Mr. Laragan and attorney. Para pala si Dana Quinto pala to, no? Parang Mr. Laragan, no? Good evening, Edgardo, no? Mr. Laragan and attorney Lira. Happy Thursday, everyone. Ito yung binati natin happy birthday advance na April 3, no? Si Emmeline Rafael. Ayan, kita mo. Talagang nami-miss natin yan pag naka-high na all cap siya, no? Di ba? Pag hindi naka all cap siya, attorney, mukhang may sakit yan, no? Parang hindi siya normal. Okay, Joy Garcia, I'm traveling back to London from Switzerland on the 13th. Cost a lot for the PCR test. Siguro sa Pilipinas. London to... PCR test, saan yan? Dito? Cost a lot for
dito.
Oo.
Yeah, so it's I think it's 170 pounds, no?
Ayan,
so it's not cheap.
Well, kung puro kayo like for example, coming back from the Philippines, coming back here to the UK, and puro kayo penalties, dinagdag na lahat na, 10, 2, 1, ganyan, no? Puro thousands to, ha? Mahigit siguro, kulang-kulang mga 1.5 million yan, no? Mahigit 1.5 billion, no? In pesos, ang equivalent. Grabe, imagine mo yan, no? Edgar Duay says, magandang gabi sa lahat, and happy Thursday. Legendary Sonny Laragan and attorney Lira Elegant Cabatbat, watching you while doing comic strip. Ayan, meron siyang comic strip.
You have to love him, ano? Yeah, the Duay family must be they're excellent.
Abangan mo yung attorney. Yung copy mo nga pala, no? Meron siya ng he will come up with a comic strip sa sa ating newspaper, si Edgar, kaya we're looking forward. Buhay Pinoy. Yeah, Buhay Pinoy. So yung mga buhay-buhay natin sa Pinoy. Dito, buhay na Pinoy dito sa UK. Greg Travero Tortoga. Greg, good evening, ha? Mabuhay kayong dalawang mag-asawa, no? Si Gloria Tortoga dyan sa may East Ham. Meron silang tindahan dyan, G&G. Puntahan ho ninyo, ito sa Filipino grocery store ho yan, supermarket. Dyan ho sa East Ham, no? Sabi niya, magandang gabi sa, sabi niya, blessed Lenten season, bossing Sonny and attorney Lira. Thank you, good evening. Ayan. Sino po to? Hi, sabi ni Joy Collins, hi po, bago lang po ako dito. Watching from Doncaster. Mabuhay.
Nice.
Mabuhay ka, Joy, ha? Mabuhay. Yeah, thanks. Nasa YouTube siya nanonood. Thank you, no? Thanks for watching. No?
Yeah.
Okay. And si Alessandro Costa, sabi niya, alam mo, Sir Sonny, automatic ata pag AstraZeneca may second dose appointment na rin. Tama ba?
Yeah.
I had vaccine last March 28 with AstraZeneca, so happy, parang mapi-feel mo talagang protected ka at safe now, which is good. Yeah, okay, good. At least you had yours, no? Hindi ka yung mga iba, medyo parang takot pa, may kung ano-ano pa mga conspiracy theories na iniisip dyan, no? Na kaya siya may invade yung katawan mo ng kung ano-ano mga... awayin ako ng kaibigan ko, best friend ko pa naman yun. may ano ta, may sabi ni Edgar, may nagpapatanong po kung paano nila madadala ang adopted daughter ng kaibigan ko na ngayon ay 8 years old na. Ano yan? Uh,
So,
and recently nalipat na ang name ng bata sa apelyido nila. Anong mga requirements?
Oh, okay. That's it's strangely that's also something that I was advising a client on earlier. So ito po, kung katatapos nga lang, so it was if the adoption order nga was made after 2014, I can't recall now the exact date nga in 2014, then it would have been made pursuant to in compliance with what's called the Hague Convention. No? If it's recognized by the Hague Convention, it means it's recognized in the United Kingdom.
Ano ibig sabihin
Which
nun?
means that
okay, yes.
So the adoption order, kung may adoption order nga sa atin and it was compliant with the Hague Convention, then it would also be recognized in the UK. And if it's recognized in the United Kingdom, then yung bata nga it would be treated as the child would be treated as if adopted nga in the UK, which means that the child can come into the United Kingdom on that basis to join nga the parents. So in fact, if a child is adopted, so the answer is pwede. Yeah. So but just be careful. Sometimes nga may matao the adoption order is made prior to the Hague Convention. So that's the first step. So sa kanya ang payo ko, have a look nga is the date of the adoption po. Was that before or after the Hague Convention? We became signatories to the Hague Convention. But to be frank,
2014
adoption
yan.
Nga
2014.
Yeah, 2014 po. So the adoption, foreign adoption nga is a massive and really complex area of law, no? So there are a number of topics that I would say definitely get advice, and this is absolutely top 3. So if you're looking to bring in a child who was adopted nga in the Philippines, no, pursuant to our laws there, before doing anything, you must seek advice, legal advice po.
Ayun. Must, ha? Mahaba yan. Must. 5. Ibig sabihin talagang kailangan. No, hindi biro yan.
Kailangan.
Oh, siguro komplikado yan. It's quite a, paano ba? Medyo masalimuot yan, no? But that, between that, getting an adopted, yung child na, and getting an adult dependent, between the two, mas mahirap yung adult dependent, kunin, no? Mas malaki ang chance nito. Mas madali. Parang, comparatively speaking, no?
Yeah, I mean the challenges for where it's an adoption is the complexities of the legal process. The challenge with adult dependent route is really the limitation of the law itself. No? So they're not really comparable, but it's just
isa complexity. Ito talagang masyadong limited na ng by law, no? May limitation.
Yun na nga.
Ayan. Okay.
Yeah.
So ayan, at least yung nanonood na friend ni ni Edgar. Okay, may question tayo rito. Let's ito, immigration question natin, no? Ito from Aleli. Sabi niya 66-year-old 66-year. Attorney, ikaw nga bumasa. Can you read it?
Yeah. So this is from Aleli. So sabi po niya ito, 66 years old na po yung nanay ko. Gusto ko po sanang kunin siya dito sa UK. Hindi po sila magkasundo ng ate ko. Kaya nais ng nanay ko na dito na siya sa akin tumira. No? So siguro yung kapatid niya nasa atin. So mas maganda nga po sana dahil pwede po siyang tagabantay ng mga anak namin na bata pa, 7 at 9 years old po. Paano ko po siya makukuha dito sa UK? Mahirap po ba? Okay, ito. Aleli, ito. Actually, yung nga pinag-uusapan natin kanina. So, adult dependent, potentially. No? Ang problema nga kung adult-dependent route ngayon, dahil nagbago na nga, kailangan mong pakita, for example, na may sakit ang nanay mo, no? Na hindi nga basta-basta meron siyang treatment sa atin, or if the treatment can't be afforded. So it is it's a very restricted route, yung adult-dependent route. So kung si nanay nga okay naman siya, no, wala namang ganong masakit, at saka ang gusto niyo nga gawin nandito siya, kasama nga yung mga apo niya, no, babantayan nga niya. So if that's the case, then the adult dependent route will not apply. Pwede siyang pumasok dito, sabihin natin as a visitor, maximum nga 6 months, but she would then need to go back. So kahit nga 66 years old na nga siya, at saka hindi sila kakasunduan ng ate mo, those factors on their own, hindi po, they would not be enough to satisfy the adult dependent route, unfortunately. So, yung tanong mo kanina, mahirap po ba? Absolutely mahirap po.
Mahirap po. So, talagang napakahirap na dadaan ka sa butas ng karayom, even if you give a lot of parang support or I don't know kung anong gagawin mong no? Hindi naman pwede dyan, yung human rights, Article 8 ba sabi mo, attorney? Article 8 ba yun? Human rights ba yun? Hindi na magagamit, no?
Yeah.
Hindi na magagamit dyan, no?
In some cases, you can make an application, a standalone type, human rights application. But in situation yang ito, it's highly unlikely that it will succeed nga, and the problem with making those types of applications is next time kung papasok nga siya, kung meron siya visa as a visitor, tapos you then make an application for her to come into the UK, say as an under the adult dependent route, and that application is refused. Any future application, will be looked at against that refusal. So it could be na any future application for visit visa is refused, dahil hindi sila naniniwala na babalik pa siya.
Ayun,
So,
okay. So, okay.
Opo.
Ayan, ingat sa mga ganyan, no? But in short, well, just to, siguro parang, lang yun, parang mahirap talaga. May kahirapan. Ayan. Okay, may tanong dito si Lilis, I don't know how you read this, attorney. Paano kaya natin babasahin to? Litis? Parang name niya? Litis Katan Rees. Ayan.
Okay.
Yan. Good evening,
so
Attorney Lira.
Yeah.
Go ahead, attorney.
So sabi po niya, good evening, Attorney Lira at Sir Sonny. Di ba pwede extend ng employer ang visa ni kasambahay? Yeah. After 7 months? Salamat po.
Baka after 6 months kasi di ba sabi mo absolutely 6 months lang. Okay, at saka ang 6 months hindi pala yung pagpasok na bibilang ka, hindi nandoon sa nakalagay na siguro sa ano ba tawag doon? Yung sticker doon nakalagay doon sa
Opo.
sa visa mo. May pagitan. Oo, may time.
Yeah. So ito pong tanong, so pwede bang i-extend nga kung 6 months? Usually hindi po pwede, no? The only, I suppose I should also mention now, the only potential exemption kung kanong nga visa, domestic visa nga, is if that person is able to claim and can show evidence nga and rely on the what's called anti-slavery provisions. So basically people who being trafficked into the United Kingdom nga. But kung okay naman ang employer nga, yung nga lang gusto nang pabain ang visa nga niya dito, extensions are a no kung domestic work visa po.
Ayan, okay. Virginia Elona, nakikita ko kayo sa Pinoy Radio UK. Dito na kayo, magpunta kayo sa Pinoy Filipino TV Europe, no? It's a Facebook page. I don't think it's hard to find, no? Filipino. Paki-like na rin, doon sa mga nanonood, yung mga napag-share, so we would really appreciate it, no? Kung mag-like lang ho kayo. Yun ho ang inyong show of appreciation dito sa ginagawa namin, no? Dito sa ating social virtual bubble na magkakasama tayo by way of this program. At least you're spending your nights with us, may nalalaman po kayo, and something that you can impart as well doon sa mga kaibigan ninyo na who would be in these situations na pinag-uusapan namin. Okay? Alright, Jennifer Guevara Bukadker, sabi niya, blessed evening po, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Sa wakas po, nahanap ko rin ko ulit ang program mo. Happy listening po sa lahat. Happy viewing din, no? God bless always. Hindi kasi doon siya yata sa kabila sa Pinoy Radio UK. O kaya sa Sonny Laragan, napunta siya rito. Ayan. Alright, so, teka muna, Attorney, ha? Ayan. Okay. May isang question tayo rito. Minda daw ang pangalan niya, no? Mga tinatago nilang names. Ayan. Immigration question. Attorney, ikaw na magbasa kaya. Sige, okay, go ahead.
So, galing po to kay Minda. Overstaying na po ako dito sa UK. Ano pong best na gawin para po maging legal ang pananatili ko dito sa UK? Maghanap na lang po ba ako ng asawa? Okay, Minda. Alright. Okay. Parang pag-aasawa ng parang dahil ang way to legalize yung kanyang stay, no? Ayan, Attorney, okay. Anong dapat So, Minda,
2 weeks ago overstaying,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually last
week ba?
Last week po.
Last week lang yata. Last week pala overstaying.
So last week, Minda, pinag-usapan nga namin to. So please have a look, no? Download or watch again yung last week's program because actually we focus mainly on overstay, kung anong pwede mong gawin in order to regularize stay. So there are a number of possibilities, and of course, kung relationship is one. But I always say, look, kung matiyempohan nyo, you're lucky enough to find someone that you get on with, that you like and you love, and you want to take the relationship further, absolutely, you can see about regularizing your stay on the basis of that relationship, but don't start off with that. But relationship is a possibility. So
may possibility.
It also depends kung possibility relationship, possibility also ilang taong ka na nga dito, if you've been in the UK for say 20 years, o meron ka bang pamilya nga dito, so you're looking at potentially a human rights type application. So there are a number of possibilities, Minda. Pero importante po ito. Don't simply make an application. And don't also pag kami nagpapayo sa'yo, walang problema, pasok nyo. But be critical. Kung ano mang advice nila, if you're not really sure na tama nga, take a second opinion, no? Dahil kung overstayer ka na, it is necessarily the case, no, kung overstayer ka na, that it is a harder application to make. So ingat ka and take advice, no? But if you want more detailed nga, pinag-usapan nga natin to, if you want more detailed information, look at last week's program, because that may be actually helpful to you. And that's on YouTube and also on Facebook, no?
Ayan, tama. Okay. So, yes, thank you, Minda, no? Yan ang kanyang, alias daw, no? Okay. Siyempre, nahihiya sila pag overstay. Yun. Okay, ito, nagtanong ulit si Miss, ano pangalan to? Yung taga-attorney, yung taga Qatar. Iraq pala, sabi niya.
Iraq.
Last question po ma'am, totoo po ba magkahati sa bayad ng visa ang employer at kasambahay po? At nasa magkano po ba ang visa for 6 months, ma'am? Ayun. Hindi, kailangan ng employer.
Okay.
Employer mo muna galing sa Iraq papunta rin sa UK, no? Kung pwede sila dito, no?
That's okay. Kung sino mang magbabayad ng visa, of course that's something that can be between you, no? Kung anong usapan nyo nga. But I would find it highly unusual, no? Nakalahati. Magbabayad.
Babayarin ka pa. Babira naman yun.
Yeah.
Diba?
No, it's because also but why would that be? It should be part and parcel, you see, of your employment, no? Kailangan ka na lang dalhin dito, gusto ka nilang isama nga dito dahil gusto nilang magtrabaho ka, they want you to continue nga with the employment in the UK for that limited period. I see no reason why nga ikaw
magbabayari ka pa.
Magbabayad,
Maghahati
no?
pa kayo. Oo.
Yeah, hati pa o any contribution, frankly. So I would find that a bit dodgy.
Oo nga.
No?
Bihira yan, Marie Chris, parang weird yun, no? Parang kasambahay ka na, ina-hire ka, tapos maghahati pa kayo ng visa fee kung may visa fee. Pero magkano visa fee? Do you have ballpark figure, attorney? Would you know the for the domestic visa?
No, I can't recall, but I suspect it will be along the same lines as, say, visit type visas because 6 months na din,
okay.
no?
O 6 months lang,
You're probably looking at less than £200.
Okay, all right. Ayan. Okay. So ayan Marie Chris, tell mo tuloy. Sabihin mo sa mga kaibigan mo, i-share mo rin kayo. Yung mga nanonood, paki-share nyo. Kamukha na ginawa ni kanina. Sino yung ating nag-share kanina, no? Si ano pangalan nun? Si Garcia, si Lorena ba yun? Nakakatuwa naman, no? Ayan, sabi ni Ana Sierra Serafines Rodriguez, no? Haba naman ang pangalan mo. Ana, good evening po sa inyo, Attorney Lira at Sir Sonny. Tanong lang po, malapit na po ang renew ng 10 years indefinite leave to remain ko in 3 years time. Ano po ang dapat kong gawin? Thank you po sa inyo. God bless. So, spouse visa siguro, no? Spouse visa ba to? Malapit na po, tama ba
malapit na pong renew ng 10 years indefinite leave to remain. So, ito po, there are two,
paano yan?
it's not entirely clear
Hindi malinaw, no? Hindi malinaw, Ana, ano ba to? Go ahead, attorney.
One possibility is, tinatakan na nga siya, nung 10 years visa. So, you find yung card, no, na binigay sa inyo yung BRP, may end date, may expiry date, and the expiry date is 10 years. So, they grant you indefinite ka na, settlement visa ka na nga, but the card itself, no, has a 10-year validity. Now, it doesn't mean that in 10 years time mawawala nga yung indefinite mo. It just means that the card expires. So, para bang passport natin, no? So, kung Filipino passport holder ka, matatapos na yung card, yung passport mo, say in 10 years time. That does not mean that you stop being Filipino. Filipino ka pa rin. Yung nga lang, yung passport mo nga lang matatapos. And the same goes with the card. So, the card would finish in 10 years time. Now, kung yung po, before the card expires, ang payo ko, you can apply for another card. It's the application is called the NTL, no time limit, no? Papasok mo nga yun and bibigyan ka nilang panibagong card. So you surrender the old card, bibigyan ka nilang panibagong card as long as you can show that you remain resident in the UK, amongst other things, no? So that's one possibility from this question. The other possibility is this called lawful resident route, which is to do with 10 years. So, kung may visa ka ng unang, nung pumasok ka dito, tapos tuloy-tuloy, yung nga lang, maybe you entered the UK initially as a student, tapos pinalitan mo, you then changed it to something that allows you to work, tapos then you changed it to something that, because you're married, you then changed it to spouse, but the total of your residency, lawful residency, amount to 10 years or plus, then you can make an application under the lawful residence route on base of 10 years lawful residence. So I'm guessing it's one of those three. I suspect the first one rather than the second one. So hopefully, klaro nga yun. Pero if I didn't make that very clear, give me a little bit more facts, no?
Medyo bitin Ana, medyo bitin, hindi masyadong kung ano yung 10 years kasi marami mga 10 years, Ilan ba ang 10 years? 10 years, okay. Anyway, ayan. So, okay. Si Juliet Marcelino, sabi niya, try mong mag-book online sa NHS, Sonny. You just need your NHS number. Ayan. Okay, well, attorney, siguro tayo, Okay na siguro yan. No? At thank you doon sa mga nag-message. Agaan ho ninyo ha, yung mga ano kasi nangyayari dito pagkatapos minsan ng show natin, attorney, may nagpapasok ka ng mga questions. So, make it a point, maski early pa lang, ano nyo na yung inyong mga tanong para maipasok ho natin. Ganun kasi minsan may mga pasok, minsan nahahabol lang natin yung mga last questions. I mean, tapos na yung show natin. Okay, attorney, mag-weekend na, no? Ayan, tapos na tayo. Tapos na tayo sa ating program.
Po.
Oo, buti ka nga. Meron ka ng, tawag dito, vaccination mo. Itong Holy Week, anong gagawin mo na? Ano tong Good Friday tomorrow? Wala nang pasok siyempre, wala kayong opisina. O, di ba?
No,
And Monday,
no.
walang pasok sa Monday. So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, walang pasok. O, di ba? Bank holiday.
No. It's and hopefully the weather's good. I need to so maybe go to church, no? Ewan ko magsisimba mga kababayan din natin, no? Simbahan, Easter Sunday.
Magsisimba ka ba o online ka na lang diyan sa may Vatican? Minsan nakikita na si Pope sa TV eh.
Well, actually, I don't know kung if the church I normally go to is in fact open, no? I haven't even checked, no? Kung
saan ka ba? Sa Richmond? O saan ka ba? Saan ka ba nagpupunta?
So there's actually usually for Easter I go to a church in Barnes, no? It's a lovely very old church.
Okay.
Pero it's I don't know if that would be open actually. I haven't even checked. I just assumed. Last year hindi, no? But this year, maybe.
Pwede na ba? Hindi pa, pwede na ba o hindi pa? Hindi ko alam kung pwede na ba yung mga gatherings. Hindi pa yata, attorney. Hindi pa because they're trying to advise us if we want to meet up with family and friends, yung 2 families na, di ba, to yung social bubble, ganyan, no? 6, maximum of 6. Tawag dito, outdoors. Because nga yung 'di ba parang yung virus at least na lumilipad-lipad na no. So
I think tama ka. I don't think places of worships may I don't know. I would need nga to check it out. So hopefully the weather's good and it would be nice also to see people, no? Unang-una. I think Monday we can meet with people outside 6.
Attorney, sabi niya, sabi ni Ana, Attorney Lira, may file po ako sa inyo. Salamat po. Oo. Akilala mo.
Okay, Ana.
Oy, Attorney, may nag-message sa akin, nag-email daw sa'yo, pangalan niya, Beverly, basta gano'n, something like that, nag-message sa'yo. Yata, nag-email. Hindi mo pa yata nabasa.
Kung nag-email kayo sa akin, kung nag-email kayo sa akin, actually, sabi ko, I think last time, sabi ko, okay, I have no plans nga because I've kind of canceled everything for the weekend because I was expecting to be laid out and I wasn't. I tell you what, I've been I didn't do anything at all over the weekend. So unfortunately,
nangyayari din sa akin,
it's not even an excuse. It was just one of those lazy few days nga, no?
Yes.
I don't think it was to do with the vaccine. So my apologies kung hindi ko kayo sinagot. Can you do me a favor?
Send it over.
Okay,
send it over. Ito. Yeah, send it again. Send it again. Yan. Cabatbat at douglas-simon.com. Para
I promise over the Easter break nga, I'm more than happy to look at it and I will look at it. Yung nga lang, please lagay nyo nga din, no, immigration corner, ha, so I can go back to it. So please do. Don't resend it, and I promise. If I can, I'm going to email you back. But ilagay niyo please yung telephone number niyo. Sometimes it's just faster for me to call you. If you don't mind me calling you actually over the Easter break. I have a few phone calls actually to clients to make over the Easter period. Okay. So.
All right. Wow. Yeah. Attorney, siguro magpaalam na. Sige, baka meron ka mga shout-outs or nais na, siguro baka naman biglang naalala mo, nakalimutan ko yun. I forgot a point na gusto kong sabihin. But I mean, baka may nakalimutan ka or may shoutouts ka or yung mga pagpaalam. Sige, magpaalam na tayo, attorney. Sige, go ahead, please.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know lagi ko itong sinasabi, but truly I'm so humbled na, no, that you take the time to listen to watch us nga. So please continue and also check us out also on YouTube, no, Filipino TV Europe nga. Now, so keep safe po, no, and happy Easter, or happy Thursday, and happy Easter, and I hope that the good weather comes and you enjoy. But if you need assistance, you need help, you want to inquire, ito pong email ko, and email me, and I'm more than happy, absolutely, to assist if I can.
Attorney, bago tayo magpaalam, may pakikita lang ako. Sinare lang sa atin Sabi nga ito. Sabi lang, in the past, when visitors came home, we would tell them, or don't be afraid, our dog has been vaccinated. Now, we have to say, don't be afraid, we have been vaccinated. Di ba? Very timely, ganun talaga, di ba? Tama nga naman, di ba? Nung araw, di ba? Nabakunahan na ba yung aso nyo? Di ba kasi pag nakagat ka, may rabies, di ba? Oo. Ikaw ba, have you ever experienced hinabol ka ng aso?
Oh, I've been bitten by a dog twice.
Oh, really? Bata ka pa siguro nun?
Yeah. Bata pa ako sa Pinas nga, no? I must admit, kasalanan ko, hindi kasalanan ng aso. Kasi I was a bit wayward as a child, So, you're running around, tapos, you're winding them up, mga aso. So, yeah, no, I've been bitten not once, but twice.
Twice.
No?
Well, hindi ko pa na-experience. Pero maalala mo ba kung anong feeling? Masakit ba?
Well, it's very quick, no? It's more of a shock, really, rather than anything.
Parang bigla ka sinagpang, di ba? May word na sagpang, di ba? Yung ginanong kagad.
Yun na nga.
Okay.
In fairness, it was more of a nip, no, rather than a proper chomp, no. But despite that, I still love dogs nga. And frankly, kasalanan ko on both occasions, kasalanan ko, because I was winding up, the dogs.
Okay. Ako hinabol ako. Yung mataas na gate natalon ko. Sabi ko para ako si Superman, natalon. Yeah, siguro yung adrenaline mo siguro yung, 'di ba, nahahabol ka, napatalon ako talaga, ang galing, no. Hindi ko akalain natalon ko yung wall, no. Because of the dog, talaga nahahabol ka. Yun lang, naalala ko kasi itong dog na has been vaccinated. Ayan. So in the past, when visitors, we would tell them, don't be afraid, our dog has been vaccinated. Now we can say, don't be afraid, we have been vaccinated. Attorney, you've been vaccinated, I've been vaccinated. Kayo ho, pag magpa-vaccinate na ho kayo, no? Because this is a huge help sa ating lahat para makuha na natin yung herd immunity, and our life would go back to normal. Alam ko na okay, sige, vaccinated tayo rito sa UK halimbawa, pero yung mga third world countries, hindi pa masyado, syempre hindi pa rin na mawawala yan. Pero just the same ho, para sa atin lang ho, para dito ho, maski paano, nag-iis na, we can go back to a bit of normalcy. So magpabakuna na ho kayo, dun sa mga hesitant pa, it's safe, no? Talagang yan, safe ho yan. Baka sabihin nyo, Sonny Laragan, yabang, kala mo, sino ka bang authority? No. Yan, napatunayan hindi ho ako yung mga experts, di ba? May mga MHRA, may AMA, ganyan, no? European, ganyan, no? Medicines Authority or something, no? So, ayan, maraming salamat ho. I'd like to say thank you very much ho sa inyong lahat na sumama ho sa amin dito sa ating Happy Thursday, no? Sa amin dalawa ni Attorney Lira, no? Sana ay nag-enjoy kayo, no? Maski paano ho ay may natutunan kayo sa gabing ito. At thank you very much. We would like to really thank them every time, no, for welcoming us sa kanilang mga tahanan. Maraming salamat ho. And let's do it again. Let's do our Happy Thursday again next week ho. No? Para na naman sa another night of information and immigration information. So, may isusurprise mo lang kami at attorney ko ano topic natin next week na naman, no? Sabihan mo naman tayo during the show naman, no?
Yeah. No, I tell you what, for next week, and especially, so hopefully some of our viewers nga, mga kababayan natin, there's a little bit of time because you have a bit of a holiday. Look, email me, no? For topics that you want me to deal with, no? So far recently we've dealt nga. So today, of course, COVID, because that's a big thing, and also nga the recent changes. And last week nga, overstayers. And certainly last week's topic nga was because it was requested by a number of clients. So so I'm give me suggestions, no? And then we'll post it nga on Facebook. So you're warned that yun ang topic natin. So let's so I'm inviting yung mga kababayan natin. Let me know anong gusto niyo pag-usapan natin.
Ayan. Pwede nyo rin email din. Immigration attorney, ito pwede nyo pag-usapan. So, sisilipin ni attorney ngayon yan. Pag hindi ko na i-flash ngayon, all you have to do is watch this program again. Punta kayo sa dulo ng show. No, hanapin nyo yung pwede nyo naman i-fast forward yan. No? Yan ang kagandahan ho ngayon ng programa ngayon. Naka-archive na ho. No? Okay. So, ito lang. Mabilis lang. Yan to. Ito, sabi ni Beverly, thank you po, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Easter po, stay safe and God bless. Si Marco Reyes Camas watching from Norway. Ito, mahal ko tong batang to. Yes, napakabait na tao niya, no? Emmeline Rafael, birthday niya, sabi niya, Sonny and Attorney Leah, don't forget to come on Saturday dito sa lunch, bahay, lunch tayo. Ayun, lunch. Sa labas ang lunch daw. Ikaw talaga, Emmeline, happy birthday on the 3rd ang birthday yata niya, no? Ano ba araw ngayon?
Happy birthday.
Sabado. Happy birthday. Happy birthday ha. We love you, Emily na. Susan Patumbakal, Francisco Patumbakal says, thank you po, Attorney Lira and Kuya Sonny for tonight's topic. Happy Easter to you both. Ayan. Well, yun na nga. Iiwanan namin kayo ng parang greeting lang, no? Na happy Easter everyone. Magnilay-nilay tayo this weekend, no? Let's do a little prayer. Mas light a candle, no? At saka bawasan ho ninyo kung nagduduritos kayo, bawasan nyo. Kung any vice o ano ba tawag doon? Parang hindi naman vice ang tawag doon. Ano bang yung mga ano ba yung tawag doon? May authority.
It is actually, no?
Yun. Parang siguro bawas-bawasan lang ninyo, no? Parang sacrifice in time for the time of this Holy Week. So, let's do it again next week. You take care. God bless and Happy Easter ho sa inyo lahat, ha? Happy Easter. Good night. Bye-bye.